as Zach said, you also talked about the fact that it's very frustrating for some of the players, especially for the youngsters who are featuring in the series, some of them playing for India for the first time or not having played too much for India in the T20I format. They must have been champing at the bit to get out there wearing the India colours. So this must have been like a minor setback for them, you could say.
I mean, yeah, you can say that, but I think obviously every player wants to go out there and play, especially, they want to try and prove themselves, especially after what they've done in India, especially Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rinku Singh, Ruturaj Gaikwad, here in challenging conditions, as, Zach had touched upon the conditions of South Africa, where there would be extra pace, extra bounce, so they would be itching to show their, talent and skill that we can perform here also, but, as they say, you can't control anything, you can't control the weather, so, you have to just take it in your stride and move forward and look forward to another game.
Look forward to another game. You said this was meant to be the first of 6 T20Is for both India as well as South Africa leading up to the T20 World Cup next year. So that's 1 out of 6 washed out, which means that 16.666667% of the matches washed out. So 5 T20Is still left for both teams. So how does this impact their preparation leading up to the World Cup?
Well, this was the first game of the series here. So under these conditions, obviously you get a gauge of what Parthiv was also trying to say, that different conditions, different players right now going there. So this team, if you look at it, it's relatively young side. Having played in these conditions, you would have got a bit more gauge of how they are approaching. We have to wait for it another day now. But that's how things stand. You have a big squad. 17 players, so when you look at the squad size also, and you look at the number of games in this series, you know that the opportunity is coming to a lot of players. They might be thinking that, okay, now one game gone, you will not see a lot of changes in the playing 11 also. So whatever the playing 11 for the next game, they will possibly carry on with the same playing 11 unless it's forced change. So that limits the whole options also, for each and every individual also in the squad, because that 6 players will be left out of this playing 11, and then they'll have to wait for their opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, both of you all have, of course, been part of lots of series where there have been rain interruptions. Short series as well, this one just being a 3-match series, and the first match has been washed out. How does that impact the dynamic within the squad or the team's selection for the remaining matches, given the fact that, you want to test out as many players as possible, especially when your players might be auditioning for a bigger tournament coming up, but now that sample set reduces, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think it is a bit difficult for a coach and captain there, if they must have come up with some kind of, mindset where we are playing a 3-game series, we want to give certain players a couple of games or maybe one opportunity to some players, but now, they'll have to rethink that. But when the first game of the tour gets washed out, you don't usually change that much unless when they go to, I don't know where, close to the place where the second T20 is.
We'll get to that.
That's when, if the conditions are, spin suitable or fast bowling suitable, so that's something which, they can think of, but otherwise, I don't think much will change from whatever playing 11 they must have decided today.